Oh yes, guys, we're back. Happy Monday, or should I say bloody Monday, guys. Is Bitcoin done for? Is alt season canceled? Guys, we've been here before. We know how this is going to play out. On today's episode, we're going to dive into this. What the hell is going on? We were supposed to be rallying. Bitcoin was supposed to be at 100,000 by now. What is going on in the markets? And guys, at the end of the video, we're going to talk some altcoins too. I found a real world asset gem that you don't want to miss out on. It's deceiving at first, but we peel back the layers to let you know why I still think this thing is an absolute gem. All right, guys, if you're excited for today's show, and happy Monday, regardless, guys, make sure, that's very important, make sure that the markets don't let you down, right? They don't put you in a position where, where it gets you depressed, right? Because the macro perspective is stronger than ever. We've covered that several times on the show, but unfortunately for the next couple of weeks, things might not be so great. So let's first dive in and look at the charts. As you can see, guys, right now, Bitcoin is not looking good. We have already 2.3% pullback right now, and at the time of shooting this, the U.S. markets open in about 3 hours from now, and I expect that this video will be live by that time. And my guess is that, of course, GBTC, Grayscale, is going to unload some more clips, market sell, and of course, on the flip side, all the other ETF issuers will be buying it up. However, we can't escape the inevitable here, which is massive sell pressure coming in from Grayscale. And this is also not out of the ordinary, guys, right? Like, let's look at the last halving, right? So if you look here, this is the halving, and you have 90 days so these are weekly, as you can see, this is weekly time frame. So as we zoom in here, you've got, let's count backwards, because right now we know that we're about 12 weeks out from the halving. So you've got halving, this one, 1 week, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So historically, 9 weeks is pre-halving. So we still have 2 to 3 weeks left of bloodshed. The question is, how low can we go? And we can see here that this was a pretty big market, pretty big sell-off. Exactly the same time frame that we have now. This is exactly what happened last bull market. So last halving. So we're not out of scope of ordinary here. But look, here's the silver lining in all of this, right? So this should be, and I would bet a lot on it, this is the last capitulation phase before Valhalla, right? And you can see in the past too, it might be the lowest that we're gonna go for the rest of Bitcoin's life. And so what does that mean for you guys? Well, that means amazing buying opportunities, right? Amazing buying opportunities. On Bitcoin, we could see it go all the way down. I think this retracement was about 30%. So right now you can see that we've retraced to right now 17.5%. Now my theory is that we're going to see less severe, let me turn on my mic a little bit. Okay, so less severe sell-offs and less dramatic volatility than we've seen in previous cycles. But still, if we look at a 30% pullback from the local tops, we're talking about coming all the way down to, $34,200. And right now we have a 7. So somewhere in between this. We also know that this 40,000 level, you can see I don't need to draw a line here, but if I do draw a line, you can see that we have this pretty strong support line here at about $40,000. And if we zoom out a bit, this is the daily charts. If we zoom out a bit, you can see there is a pretty strong support line here at 38 as well. You can see this region right here, pretty strong support line at about 37,750. So I do expect, guys, I personally expect that we're going below 40. You just can't help this inevitable offloading from Grayscale. But the sooner that we get this toxic sludge out of our system, the quicker we can go on our way to happy days. So let's quickly review what's going on in ETF land, because it's very, very important to understand this. So Eric Balkunas says, latest, despite GBTC seeing $590 million outflows gash on Friday, the Magnus Fit 9 overwhelmed it with $620 623 million inflows. That's amazing. So both IBIT from BlackRock and Fidelity were the biggest ones with over 200 million, while BitCo and HODL had their best hauls to date. Total net flows stand at 1.2 billion as Nine's AUM hit 4 billion versus GPT's negative 2.8 million, upping AUM share to 14%. So you can see that this is not just from Grayscale, this price correction. It's also historical pattern. It just happens before. And so we know that history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And so if any indication of what is going to happen is this, and guys, if you're not following Rex Capital, I suggest that you do. Guy makes some really good charts, things like that. But this is really great to see. So day 6 was Friday, and you can see just massive inflows. It was almost the biggest day from Fidelity since their launch. The launch day was bigger, but you could see that from iShares, there was so anyway, big days all around here, guys, except for, of course, Grayscale still continuing to offload a bunch every day. So Nate Garachi says, top 10 ETFs by inflows so far this year: S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, corporate bonds, total stock market, aggregate bonds, and Bitcoin. So these are the inflows of the top ETFs in the world. And it's pretty outstanding. And to see that, you can see that it's iShares, so the BlackRock's S&P 500, which is just an easy play on the S&P 500. Vanguard, okay, BlackRock and Vanguard, biggest money managers in the world. And then when you come down here, you can see that we look at iShares Bitcoin Trust registered, and then the Fidelity Wise Bitcoin Fund. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Top 10, 2 of them are already in the top 10, and they've only been trading for 6 days. This is going to be outstanding to see how this evolves over the next 30 days, 60 days, and this year. This will be something that the traditional world could never have expected to see at all. So let's go check out. So Nate also says, out of nearly 600 ETFs that have launched since the beginning of last year, IBIT and Fidelity already in top 10 of those based on current assets, BitB in the top 25, again, in just 6 trading days. So not to overly nerd out on this, but IBIT is actually in the top 15% of all ETFs by assets and top 2% by daily volume in 6 trading days. Anyone operating in the ETF space know how ridiculous this is. And this is just going to be massive inflow. So again, we have, just imagine the price charts when we stop having this massive outflows from Grayscale. So Alan says, wild seeing Grayscale casually dump 10 to 25,000 Bitcoin each day may end up being the biggest blown lead in the history of Bitcoin, and all because they refuse to lower fees. So we don't know exactly why everybody's exiting. Some of them, we've talked about it before. Maybe it's they made the trade, they were banking on this, and they are taking profits. Some of them might be leaving. And I think that we can see that some of them, we can see that 10 to 25,000 Bitcoin each day being offloaded. Not all of those seem to be sold. They might be repositioned into different ETF issuers with better fees because Grayscale's is very, very high. But you can see that this is how much they've been offloading every single day. Absolutely insane. But this is good to see, as we want to see their Bitcoin balance go down, just because we need to get rid of this. So we need to blow through this as quickly as possible. All right, so let's check out this this interview with the Franklin Templeton CEO. This is pretty amazing.
Just spot Bitcoin ETF just last week after the SEC gave the go-ahead. Jenny, great to have you with us here on set.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start off with the Bitcoin ETF. I do want to, of course, get your take on the markets, but in terms of the Bitcoin ETF, we've seen massive inflows. That was expected in the early days. What do you expect as time moves on, and who are the incremental investors in this ETF in your view?
You know, it's funny. I'm known for saying that Bitcoin's the greatest distraction from one of the greatest disruptions in financial services, which is blockchain. So a lot of people took that as I'm not a believer in Bitcoin, and yet, you know, launching this ETF, you can see obviously the demand that's out there for Bitcoin, and I think there's a lot of reasons why that is. I think that one, from a blockchain standpoint, the ability to pay, Bitcoin's going to be a key component of that. And the technology is going to open up a lot of really interesting types of investment opportunities. We actually launched a tokenized money market fund. We're the first mutual fund first traditional asset manager to actually launch a 40 Act fund on a public blockchain, on the Stellar blockchain. So Bitcoin is just one of the suite of what we think are opportunities here. And
I think this is just incredible that, you know, that, again, this is a top 20 asset manager in the world, $1.5 trillion under management, tokenizing one of their funds on the Stellar blockchain. And this is we're going to get into real world assets in just a bit. That's going to be this altcoin gem that we pick. And also I just got word that the actual last correction wasn't 30%. So let's just go quickly, and it was 20%. So let's just take a look here and see what a 20% retracement would do. Okay, so if it follows, then we're looking at, so that this $38,000 level should hold no matter what. It would 20% retracement from the local tops would put us at 39,000. So if you're trading, you kind of know what kind of targets to expect here. So Chris says, slowly but surely the barking fades as blind confidence wanes with a slipping market. So yeah, just thought that was interesting. And then really right now, what's going on is we're seeing a lot of caution in the market. But the total, which is the entire crypto market cap here, is not looking strong, right? And so like I said before, we can see that we have, in my opinion, about a couple more weeks that seems to maybe line up as well with the outflows from Grayscale, because we know that they're not going to empty their entire bag, right? That would just be insanely suicidal of them. So at some point, they either have to adjust their fees, and I'm guessing that obviously not everybody wants to exit there. So, you know, if we saw another 10 days, let's just pull up a calculator real quick. You know, if we saw another 10 days at, it might even last a little bit longer, guys. Like, let's say like 15 days at times, let's say 15,000 a day. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is what people roughly estimate the outflows to be still looking forward. So yeah, maybe about 3 more weeks of outflows, but that's just one dynamic. We also have the Bitcoin halving coming in, which is a strong, powerful motivator. And even without the ETFs, we would still see a Bitcoin bull run, right? So this is just going to make it extremely more eruptive. So guys, yeah, so markets are looking bloody as hell right now, not looking good. Let me know in the comments below if you would like me to make a video where of the tokens that I would be looking to pick up if we do see another retracement. If Bitcoin does go to 38,000 from here, that would be another, what, 10%, 5% from here. And then that means altcoins, probably another 20, 25%, 30% dip. So I'm thinking about making a video about the best altcoins to pick up. So now I want to get into the altcoin section real quick. It's good to talk about, what we talked about before, the Celestia staking. Now, I just want to bring it up because this is an airdrop that's coming up. So Altlayer is a big one. You guys heard me talk about it before. Backed by Polychain, Jump. You got Ryan Selkis from Azari, Gavin Wood, co-founder of Ethereum and Polkadot, Kane from Synthetics, Balaji from A16Z and Coinbase, and Sean from Circle and USDC Architect. So a big one for Altlayer coming. And you can also see that we have Altlayer being priced in on the perpetual market at about a $2.6 billion FDV. So it should be a big one. We don't know what the airdrop dynamics are yet. Another one that is coming up soon is Dymension, which is also, so I think the point is right here is what, 13,000 roll-ups have been deployed on Dymension's testnet so far, and you are bullish. This could be airdrop farmers. You never really know. But the fact is that these two things are coming to Celestia stakers, and will make a big difference for. Now, I want to get into a couple of things that we talked about recently. One of them is Connext. Now, we can quickly talk about at the $1 million. And yes, the fully diluted valuation is 293, but there's no unlocks until September. So we just talked about that recently, right? Guys, we talked about it at almost 30 cents. You can see with this pullback right now, this is extremely good. This is why you got to love pullbacks. Pullbacks are good for buying dips. So after we discussed this, guys, it shot up to about over 41 cents. And now with this pullback, we're back to about 34.8 cents. If you guys haven't seen my video from Connext, I will link it in the description below or put it in the thumbnail at the end of the video. But definitely go check out Connext. Insane project at a $38 million valuation. So like that, if you haven't seen it, here's an amazing opportunity. Could even go lower. Keep an eye on this thing. I really like it. Now, Shido, guys, is still up like crazy.
The question is, and we'll know more after we speak with the team, just how much is this thing going to pump?
So now with Shido, guys, I must tell you that, so we talked about it here at a $25 million market cap. Now it's sitting at 104. So it's over a 4x since we talked about it. And the thing that I want to know is the team has been very, very hard to get a hold of. So I'm curious to see if I still don't know. So the reason that we called this before was because it was an obvious play from a market cap perspective. Sitting at $25 million market cap, super fast, cheap L1 on Cosmos, felt like Say. And so it's sitting right now here probably fairly about $105 million market cap. Now, again, the question is what's the roadmap look like? And I'm trying to get a hold of the team to fill me in on that. I will keep you guys posted because it's not a good sign if I can't get a hold of them. And but I think, let's just see real quick. Okay, so just an hour ago, it looks like the CEO replied to me, but I still don't know exactly what's going on. So I want to find that out more here. But guys, something to keep on your periphery anyway. But the point is that we're making great calls, guys, and we're looking at good fundamentals. So if you're happy for that, if you guys got into these things with us, make sure that you're liking this video, share with your friends, help them get ahead in this bull market. Now, guys, one of the things I want to talk about now is we have a sponsorship from NordVPN. This is an insane deal, guys, and this is so valuable and so much. You are dealing with crypto, and you can't risk not using a VPN. That would be so dumb if you fall for any of these attacks. This is less than $2.88 per month. If you sign up using my affiliate link, you get like 65% off the normal price, plus 4 extra months on top. It's like, it's insane not to do it, right? Like it's costs you basically nothing. And it's not just for protecting yourself. I mean, you get all of these cool features. Nord is by far the best. I had ExpressVPN before. I was having problems connecting with my MacBook. You can see that right now I'm at a US location, a US VPN location, and it says I'm protected. But what else could you use this for? So as you can see, one of these projects that we're looking at right now is called Bitfinity, which I'm very bullish on. And you can see that right now I'm logging in from a US location and it's not letting me access it. So of course, whenever you want to use crypto and people are geolocation blocking you, then just connect to a different location. And a lot of times, as long as you're not doing KYC, then you're going to be able to access the site. Like, let's say I go here. And then remove cookies, delete, and refresh. I'm not a US person. Well, it's still, anyway, I picked a country. But anyway, this is why it's super valuable, guys, to get around the country. So anyway, it's super cheap. Link is in the description below. And if you guys do sign up, we're going to pick 10 of you from the first 200 who sign up to get in the VVIP group as well with no extra strings attached, where we got private sales, we got exclusive calls, all kinds of great stuff in there for you guys. Now I want to talk about Ondo. So Ondo is something that has skyrocketed to the top of the real world asset narrative, only launched a few days ago. And it seems expensive here, guys. It seems very, very expensive, right? Like a $377 million market cap, 1 $2.6 billion FDV. It's backed by all the big players in the industry. Everyone, Coinbase, Pantera, everyone, list goes on and on and on. This thing's surely getting a Coinbase listing soon. It doesn't have there's still a lot to look forward to. It doesn't have Binance, doesn't have Coinbase yet, but those things are surely coming. And I want to show you something that's really important here. So this is what we need to pay attention to. So not much seeing chatter around Ondo. Very interesting world asset play backed by giants like Pantera and Coinbase. Ondo has tokenized BlackRock's ETFs in a compliant way. The FDV is around this is a little bit old. This is a Friday, but this is the most important part. On top of that, only 2% of the supply is actually circulating, because right now it shows you 14% is circulating, so it shows you 14% is circulating, 1.4%, but 12 of this percent, guys, goes toward an ecosystem growth fund that has not been deployed yet. So really only 2% of circulation. So you have to figure out the actual valuation here. You have to go 2.6 billion times 2% gives you a $52 million market cap for the leading RWA play in crypto. I just bought a big bag of this. I still think there's a lot of upside to go. There's no more unlocks for, as you can see down here, the next major unlock happens in here. 362 days before you have a major unlock. So you still have this whole next bull run, or this whole year of this thing potentially going to insane valuations before any of the investors get their tokens. Remember, it's not 377, it's more like $50 million market cap. To me, this is absolutely insane, and very, very bullish on this Ondo. As you can see, they're tokenizing BlackRock's ETFs and many other things. They also have these other things like USDY, different. This is, you're not going to go use this yourself. It's for institutional people, but it's nonetheless, with Larry Fink shilling real world assets, this thing, in my opinion, is a no-brainer. It's easy for TradFi to understand, and at a 50 mil, guys, I think this is still a really good opportunity. I will catch you guys on the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.